Hi everybody, and welcome back to Tiger Spreadsheet Solutions live content. If you're watching live, I'd really appreciate it if you could confirm that you can see me and you can hear me. And if you're not watching live, you're watching on the replay, maybe just skip through the first few minutes because I'm doing some housekeeping so we get into the real content in a few minutes time. What is it all about this stream? Well, we're going to have a look at what is known as the Monty Hall problem. The Monty Hall problem. I've got it explained on this slide here. So imagine a game show situation. So there's 3 doors and 1 with a prize and 2 with nothing. You choose a door. The host opens a different door, revealing nothing behind it. You're offered the chance to change your choice to the other door, the one that you did not choose originally and the host did not open. Should you switch or should you stay with the original choice? So this is our question. Let me know in the chat, guys. I can see, thank you to Jasmine. Thank you to Andrew and Mohammed for saying that they can see and hear me. It's good to see you guys. We'll say hello to everybody in the chat. Do you recognize this problem? Have you seen it before? If you've done any kind of statistics, a course on statistics, you might have seen this. This is where I learned about this problem myself and I got it wrong. And today I still get it wrong. It really does my head in, we'd say here in the UK. I can't get my head around the actual answer to this, but there's actually one clear answer that we can prove using an Excel VBA simulation. That's what we're going to do over the next 4 or 5 days. Explore the power of business simulations in Excel VBA, do some really nice modeling, some new formulae, some random numbers. There's going to be some VLOOKUP. Going to build this Excel model and prove what the right answer is to this question. And for people who prefer a kind of visual explainer, I did commission a very expensive reconstruction with my dog this morning. So in the top left, yeah, we'd have 3 bowls. And then in the bottom left here, we'd put a coin behind one of these bowls or underneath one of these bowls. And then one of these bowls is revealed to us and the bowl does not contain the coin. The bowl does not contain the coin. So we've got a choice. Do we change our original choice or do we stick with our original choice? And thank you to my model Luna here for helping out. So let me know. Let me know in the chat. Are you going to stay? Are you going to switch? Are you going to stay? Are you going to switch? I know which one I'm going to do now, but that's only because I've studied this problem and I still don't fully understand it. So I'm going to be learning as we go through this session. So once again, if you're watching on replay, skip through to the good stuff. Just going to say hi to everybody joining us today. So Klaus, it's good to have you back. How are you, Klaus? Nice to have you. Maria is with us today. Welcome, Maria. Daniel is with us. Good to have you, Daniel. Good to see you again. Jasmine is with us today, one of our members. Mohammed, good to see you. Andrew is with us in Australia, so midnight in Australia. I love that, Andrew. Thank you so much for being with us. Paul just tuning in. Paul, another one of our members. Good to see you, Paul. And Ian here at the bottom. Ian saying, yeah, I've never understood this. The answer is always to switch, apparently. What do you think about that? The answer is always to switch. So looking forward, hopefully, to understanding it. You know what, Ian? I'm looking forward to understanding this one too. 24 people with us, 7 likes. Thanks so much. So let's get into this. Now, I'm going to model this in Excel from scratch. So you can go ahead and open up an Excel spreadsheet and model this. And we're going to work through it step by step. And it's one of those problems in Excel. It looks simple, but then when you start modeling it, you see there's some complexity there. So when I start an Excel model, you don't just jump into the formulae, into the VBA. Always take some notes, do some planning and conceptualization. Planning and conceptualization, so important for us on the channel. Tony, another one of our members just tuning in. Tony saying, I've heard the answer before, but I don't understand why. Okay. So let's start with our original choice here. So we're definitely going to have a column that has our original choice, Alt-HOW20, Maria. There's another shortcut for you. Alt-HOW allows us to adjust the column size. So original choice, which is going to be 1, 2, or 3. That's something we're definitely going to need a column in the spreadsheet. And perhaps this can be a user input, or maybe once we build the model, we'll actually automate this with a random number. So let me know in the chat, how would we do that? Can we generate numbers, random numbers in Excel? How would we get a random number between 1, 2, and 3? So we've got the choice, the contestant's choice. Now we need to know which door or bowl, if we're talking about Luna's application, which door is open by the host. This is the next thing we need to look at. Alt-HW40 here. So which door is open by the host? Let's have some notes. So it cannot be, in fact, before this, I'm going to say, okay, so let's say contestant choice. Let's get the terminology consistent here. Contestant choice. And then let's say door, winning door. Here we go. Winning door. So again, the winning door is also 1, 2, or 3. Control D here, autofill down. So shift down cursor, autofill down. And this we definitely want to automate with a random number. So again, what formula would allow us to do this? And just looking at how this is taking shape, I think each of the entries in this column would probably become a column header, in our model. Welcome to Nikki tuning in, and welcome to Steve tuning in. And Jasmine, yeah, great contribution here from Jasmine. So RANDBETWEEN, and with the RANDBETWEEN formula, RANDBETWEEN 1 and 3, I'm saying here, you can see at the top here, this gives us a random number between 1 and 3. You can then hit the F9 key, or you can go to formulas and calculate now over on the right hand side. That's going to generate a new random number. I'm just hitting the F9 key there. I can see the new random numbers generated. So which door is open by the host again? This is going to be 1, 2, or 3. And let's go through the logic here, because some doors it can't be, can it? Because the host can't open the door that has the prize behind. Okay, so cannot be door that has prize. That's one thing. It also cannot be the door that the contestant chose. Okay, interesting. So cannot be the door that has a prize, cannot be the door that the contestant has chose. So if we think about that logically, how else could we put that? Well, yes, if the contestant has chosen the winning door, and of course the model knows this and the host knows this, but the contestant doesn't. If the contestant has chosen the winning door, then we need a choice between the other two doors. And let's write this down. If contestant has chosen winning door, choice between two doors. Okay, and if contestant has not chosen winning door, it is the remaining door. Okay, so just articulating the logic here, going through our planning and conceptualization. Yeah, so what formula, again, what formula would help us do this? Okay, maybe we'll look to see if we can do this today, or maybe we'll just go ahead and start setting up our model with a few column headers. Let's put some column headers in. Let's start setting up our model. So Alt-HOH45 is going to give me a nice row size for headers. Alt-HOW3, just going to decrease the width on that cell. So what formula might help us here? Hello to people tuning in, by the way. Steve Knapp, good to see you, Steve. I know you're new to the channel. Thanks for your nice comment recently on the channel. I've been reading those, following those carefully, so thank you, Steve. The Barker House is with us. Good to see you on here, Chris. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Tony Barker, absolute pleasure. Henrik is with us. Welcome, Henrik. Good to see you. And Maria's got to go. Okay, Maria, we'll see you tomorrow. We're live every day this week at 4 o'clock. Going to do about 30 minutes live every day. See if we can work through this. Okay. So we've got our contestant choice here. Alt-HW just wraps the text. Alt-HOW, let's go for 12 here. Let's go for 10 actually. Alt-HOW 10. Just looking to get the right column width so that we can actually see the text properly. Winning door, and then, which door is opened by the host? Okay, so 3 important pieces of information here. We've got 3 column headers. I think we're going to need more than 3 columns to work this out though, because it's good to separate calculations across columns. I think we're going to need some intermediary calculations here, some intermediary calculations to allow us to understand which door is opened by the host. And I think in the end, we're going to put this in this column. Then in these 2 columns, we're going to have some kind of intermediary calculations. Anyway, contestant choice. So Jasmine gave us the answer here. So we can use the RANDBETWEEN formula. Yes, Excel allows us to generate these random numbers. Certainly if you have, a vaguely modern version of Excel, you're going to be able to generate these random numbers. RANDBETWEEN, hit the F9 key on the Windows PC. And if somebody could let me know the Mac equivalent, by the way, for that shortcut, that would be good. Hit the F9 key, or you can go up to formulas, calculation options, and calculate now, right at the top here. That's going to make Excel calculate. Every time Excel calculates, Excel generates new random numbers. So that's pretty cool. And this whole week, we're creating a simulation, an Excel simulation, and this is building up to a bit of an announcement I'm going to make in the next few days. But right at the heart of any Excel-based simulation commonly used in business to help people think about business problems is random numbers and probability distributions. Okay, Henry's got to go too. No way, Henry's going to. Anyway, so we've got our random numbers in there. And then we've got our winning door. Okay, so this is just going to be the same calculation, isn't it? So Control-C, Control-V is going to bring that formula across. And now we've got a thing. Yeah, so now I'm going into this logic here. So which door is opened by the host if the contestant has chosen the winning door? Okay, so has contestant chosen winning door? Alt-HW. Now, did anybody get the formula here? Alt-HOH 60. Anybody get the formula here? Let me see in the chat. Let's just get the chat up. Can we get the chat up on the screen? Not at the moment. But what's going to help us here? Well, we're talking about a condition. A condition. So always think about things logically. And well, I've given away the answer here by articulating the logic here with the word if, So if the contestant has chosen the winning door, then the condition is if this value equals this value, then the contestant has chosen the winning door. This is going to affect our calculations for which door is opened by the host. So let's go in with an if formula here. So if this cell equals this cell, then yes, comma, the contestant has chosen the winning door. Otherwise, we can just say no here. So super useful Excel formula when we're doing Excel modeling. And this is an example of a model. This is not analysis. We're not using pivot tables and sum ifs and things. We're creating a chain of formulae, a calculation chain to get from input to output via a process. So we're doing Excel modeling. In Excel modeling, we've got our big 5 formulae. Can I name them now? Arithmetic formulae, simple arithmetic, the if formula, VLOOKUP, match, and offset. So when you're doing this kind of Excel modeling, these are the formulae we would expect to use. Welcome KWM. KWM just tuning in from Singapore. What time is it where you are, my friends? Okay, no, the contestant has not chosen the winning door. Okay, so, okay, if winning door chosen, then door opened by host. By host, there we go. Also, column header is getting bigger and bigger here. Let's go for 90. So if the winning door is chosen, the door opened by the host. So if the contestant has chosen the winning door, it's going to be a choice between two doors here. Now that's tricky. Thinking about that now, that's tricky. So if door 1 is chosen and it's the winning door, the host has to choose between door 2 and 3. If door 2 is open and that is if door 2 is chosen and that's the winning door, then the host has to choose between doors 1 and 3. If door 3 is chosen and that's the winning door, the host has to choose between doors 1 and 2. So can you see, it's like this combinatorial explosion. When you start talking through the logic and seeing all the dependencies, it always gets a bit busier, a bit more complicated. So how to do that? Just thinking how to do that. A number of different ways to do that. Let's do that with a table. So I'm going to go to another sheet here. I'm going to go to the second sheet and let's name some sheets now. Alt-O-H-R is the Windows shortcut. Let's call this model, actually, this front sheet. And then move into the second sheet. So control and page down. On my laptop, it's control function and page down. Alt-O-H-R to rename the sheet. And let's say lists. No, let's say engine. So we've got the classic engine sheet here. Yes, it's back, guys. Fans of the channel will be used to the engine sheet. So I'm going to use this engine sheet to house some supporting calculations, not quite calculations, some supporting data, which is going to support that previous calculation of choosing between two doors that I just mentioned. Not necessarily absolutely necessary, I don't think. There are ways to do this, just using a formula. Personally, I'd rather have a bit of data in the file and short formulae rather than having no data in the file and very long formulae. The one thing I really try to avoid in my practice is having very long formulae. So if the winning door is 1 and that's been chosen, then the alternatives are 2 and 3. And let's go ahead, let's just say door here. And door 2, the alternatives are 1 and 3. Even I can do this kind of arithmetic, I think. And door 3, the alternatives are 1 and 2. There we go. Okay, so let's say alternative 1 here. Snooze that. Alternative 1. Okay, so I wonder if our logic could be, let's go ahead and try to build it here. So let's say the door is 1. Then we want to choose between the two alternatives. Okay, how might we do that? We can do that using match and offset, I'm thinking. We can also do that using VLOOKUP. So here's one for the more advanced modelers out there. And I know we've got some really competent Excel users in the chat. Bart just tuning in. Bart, how are you? Good to see you, Bart, another one of our members. Paul says choose. Whoa, Paul, I was not thinking choose, but what is choose going to do? Okay, so choose is a value. Choose is a value or action to perform from a list of values based on an index number. Paul, it's learning to me. I have never used choose, but I'm loving that idea. Okay, I will have to look at choose. I have a different idea using VLOOKUP. So shall we see if we can make this work? Thanks to everybody watching, by the way. And we've got 12 likes on the stream. Really appreciate that. And let me know in the chat, are you working along? Are you working along with us? I hope so. This is such good modeling practice. Okay, so we want to look at this value in this table. So pretty standard VLOOKUP stuff. This is where we need to do something a bit different, I think. You know, I can get a value from the second column in the table. Yeah, and make sure you're working along with me, feel this yourself. This is going to give me the value from the second column in the table. Yeah, so 1 gives me 2, 2 gives me 1, which is this cell here. 3 gives me 1, which is this cell here. Okay, and equally, I could get a value from the third column in the table. So 3 gives me 2, that's this cell here. 2 gives me 3, that's this cell here, and 1 will also give me 3, which is this cell here. So I can do one or the other. Can anybody think of a way to choose? That's the formula again, Paul, although we're not going to go for that formula. Choose between 2. For us to choose between 2. I can think of a way to do it, and it's a way using a formula we've already used. We've got to replace one of these components in the formula. We've got to replace with another formula. Have you ever done this with VBA, with VLOOKUP rather, combining lookups with other formulae? Match, we often combine with VLOOKUP, and it could work with match, although that's not actually what I have in mind. Tony, you are on the money. So Tony, I think this is Tony H, one of our members, but just check out Tony's contribution. And while you do that, let me tell you quickly about Members Monday. We're going straight into Members Monday today. Now, Members Monday is our membership program here on the channel. Members Monday, very simply, is a learning community for Excel, learning community for Excel VBA. So if you really want to improve your Excel VBA, you know, not in the short term, in the long term, you want to get better at Excel VBA, remove the stress, get it working for you in your career, why not join our Members Monday community? We stream every Monday. That's why it's called Members Monday, live stream with me. And we've got about 35 people in there at the moment, you know, just getting started this year, but we've got a great community here. And what I'm showing you here is the Facebook page. You get lots of stuff now with Members Monday. One thing we get is the Facebook page, and I put a poll up this week just to show the different stuff that we're doing in Members Monday. We do Excel VBA demonstrations, structuring a real world problem live, a bit like what we're doing today, but in more depth and with greater interactivity. Homework review, so members send in their files and I review it live in the stream, talking about the strengths and the weaknesses, how they can improve, pointing out good practice for the other members. We have other members coming into the stream as well. We've had Bart on the stream recently. We've had Nigel on the stream recently. We've had 2 or 3 other members on the stream as well. And of course, you get to chat to other members too. So it's like a community. So I'd love to have you Members Monday. We're going to be starting at 5 o'clock. So just after this stream, we're going to go into our member stream. Click join below this video. I would absolutely love to have you there. So let's see if we can complete this. DC is with us. Welcome, DC. Good to have you with us, my friend. Yang is with us as well. And Yang says ran between 2 and 3. Good. So I'm loving the ran between idea, because that's effectively what we're looking to do. This 3, sometimes we want it to be 3, sometimes we want it to be 2. So a great way to do that would be to have this formula hitting the F9 key now. That's great. And we could use it separately in a cell, but I think I'm comfortable enough to take this, Control C, and then just drop it into the VLOOKUP formula, Control V, drop it in there. And then how is this looking? So if I hit F9 now, calculating, or you can go formulas and then calculate now over on the right. Hitting the F9 key, what we're going to see is that value's changing, but it's only changing to 2 or 3. And interestingly, it's not changing every time. Yeah, it's not changing every time I hit F9, because sometimes Excel generates a new random number that gives us the same outcome. So will still give us 2 or still give us 3. Pretty cool. So if I can test this now. If I change this to 2, that's giving us 3 or 1. If I change this to 3, so this should give us 1 or 3. Good, so pretty happy with that. Okay, so we need to transfer this formula into our model. If winning draw is chosen, okay. Yep. So this formula, so it's VLOOKUP, and we're going to look up the contestant choice in our table. So I'm just rebuilding the same formula now in our table. Then we have RANDBETWEEN in here, tab key, 2, 3, comma 0. How's that looking? Sense checking the formula. Sense checking the formula. Any silly mistakes there? I can see one. We need absolute references here. So hitting the F4 key, that's going to put the dollar signs in. We've got the absolute references and looks pretty good to me. Okay. But we only want this to happen if, there we go. We only want this to happen if something is happening. Only if the contestant has chosen the winning door. And if that's not the case, then let's just have nothing in the cell, you know, because we don't want to confuse people there. So I'm going to embed this in an if, and we'll see now how using that helper column, helper cell, doing that intermediary calculation is going to simplify formula building, although admittedly this formula is already looking quite long. If that condition is met, so if the contestant choice is the winning door, then we want to do this. If not, let's just have not applicable appearing in the cell there, not applicable. Hopefully you can distinguish that from the NA Excel error. Now we hit enter, what's going to happen? Okay, we were lucky then because the contestant choice was the winning door. So that means our formula is going to go into action. Let's hit the F9 key now. Okay, we've got NA now. That's because the contestant choice is not the winning door. So we're saying the logic that we articulated took the time to articulate at the beginning of the stream. It helped us think this through, and now we've seen that translated into formulae here. Hitting the F9 key, that's right. So we're only going to get a result in column F if the contestant chooses the winning door. Hitting the F9 key, when's it going to happen? Isn't it? It's a 1 in 3 chance, isn't it? So there we go. Okay, I think I did about 20 iterations there. But yes, so the contestant choice is the winning door, and we can see we've got our value there, which is a choice between 2 and 3. So 3 is absolutely fine. So how about that? How about that for a bit of Excel modeling? And this is what I'm doing every day, guys, working on Excel VBA, real life Excel VBA projects. You know, I don't know how well you know me, but I've got a roster of customers in the UK and across the world, and I'm doing Excel modeling, Excel data analysis, Excel VBA automation. This is what I'm doing. I don't hide anything on the channel, certainly not in Members Monday. If you click join below this video, you can get involved with that. This is exactly what I'm doing day to day. So we'll be continuing tomorrow, guys, and we'll be continuing with this model. I think we've probably built about 1/3 of the model. So if we can build 30% every day, that should move us towards Friday, which is when we will hopefully, you know, finish building this model, and we'll be able to prove this one way or another, should we stay or switch. And just before we go, what is this an example of? This is an example of, let's just get rid of the chat viewer here. This is an example of business simulation. Business simulation. Now, I've done all kinds of things in Excel using business simulation. Just as an example, I've got a customer who works in football data, and this customer wanted to simulate football results earlier in the year when we had the break from football because of the pandemic. So it's an example of business simulation. You can see like how much fun, or certainly how much learning you can do in Excel, and lots of practical value in the real world. That's business simulation. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you're not a member, for the members, we'll be going live just after 5 o'clock. For the others, I would love to see you tomorrow. Take care.